Good evening. You're watching News at 6 on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you, and these are the headlines. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives to a red carpet welcome in Gujarat, bonds with Prime Minister Narendra Modi over a roadshow to the Sabarmati Ashram. Both Prime Ministers Modi and Netanyahu inaugurate the I Create Centre at Diodhoria village in Ahmedabad. Prime Minister Modi hopes I Create will play a significant role in realizing the dream of a new India. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj terms terrorism the mother of all destruction. Army Chief Bipin Rawat underscores need to identify nations sponsoring terrorism at the Raisina Dialogue Conference. Continuing its record-breaking spree in the new year, Sensex hits a record high of 35,000 points, surges to 310 points to end at a new closing peak of 35,081. And Team India tastes a defeat for the second time in South Africa, lose the second test by 135 runs at a Super Sport Park in Centurion. Our top story this evening, it was a red carpet welcome for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Gujarat as he arrived in Ahmedabad along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two leaders left on a roadshow that started from the city airport and extended till the Sabarmati Ashram. Both the leaders paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi. Netanyahu and his wife Sarah also weaved khadi at the ashram and also flew a kite. Here are the details. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu landed in Gujarat on Wednesday to a rousing welcome at the airport, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi receiving his friend in his home state. This was followed by an 8-kilometer joint roadshow to the Sabarmati Ashram, with crowds thronging the roadside. As the cavalcade with the two prime ministers proceeded, crowds waved Indian and Israeli flags. Around 50 tableaux were on display along the route, displaying Indian culture. Heavy security had been deployed along the entire stretch, with 12 teams of Chetak commandos, Israeli snipers, quick response teams, the bomb detection and disposal squad, and the Gujarat police stationed. A plan for the leaders to drive down in an open-top jeep was cancelled because of security reasons. Upon reaching the Sabarmati Ashram, Prime Minister Modi took his Israeli guests on a tour of Hriday Kunj, where Mahatma Gandhi once stayed. The Israeli Prime Minister and his wife paid homage to the father of the nation. The dignitaries also tried their hand at the spinning wheel. And they got another lesson from Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, the tricks of flying a kite successfully. Netanyahu described his visit to the Sabarmati Ashram as very inspiring. Netanyahu is the third international leader being hosted by Prime Minister Modi in his home state after Chinese President Xi Jinping and Japan's Shinzo Abe. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu also inaugurated a startup hub, I Create Centre at Diodhoria village in Ahmedabad. At the event, both the leaders pledged to cooperate in the field of entrepreneurship development. Now, I Create, or the International Centre for Entrepreneurship and Technology, is an institution which mentors budding entrepreneurs and guides them to launch startups.
Let us dream big and turn our ideas into innovation to build a new India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday inaugurated the I Create Center at the Dholera village in Ahmedabad. Appreciating the presence of Benjamin Netanyahu in Gujarat, Modi said innovation brings the people of two countries together.
जब कुछ वर्ष पहले आई क्रिएट को लॉन्च किया था तो उस समय भी मैंने कहा था कि इजराइल को आई क्रिएट से जोड़ना चाहता हूं। मेरा मकसद यही था कि इजराइल के अनुभव का फायदा, उसके स्टार्टअप एनवायरनमेंट का लाभ इस संस्था को, देश के नौजवानों को मिले। इजराइल की टेक्नोलॉजी एवं क्रिएटिविटी पूरे विश्व को प्रभावित करती है।
The Prime Minister further added that I Create will play an important role in realizing the dream of a new India.
देश में पूरे सिस्टम को इनोवेशन फ्रेंडली बनाने की दिशा में काम कर रहे हैं। हमारा मंत्र है, क्यूरियोसिटी से जन्मे इंटेंट, इंटेंट की ताकत से बने आइडियाज, आइडियाज की ताकत से हो इनोवेशन और इनोवेशन की ताकत से बने हमारा न्यू इंडिया।
Earlier, the Israeli Prime Minister said in addition to iPads and iPods, the world needs to know about I Create as well.
I'm delighted to be here at I Create. The world knows about iPod, they know about iPad. Well, there's one more I that the world needs to know about. I Create.
The Israeli PM also showered praise on Prime Minister Modi, saying he's doing revolutionary work in changing India.
Prime Minister Modi and I are both very young and very optimistic. We're young in our thinking, and we're optimistic about the future. At I Create, entrepreneurs come together for mentoring and to raise funds for their ideas. And I was happy to find that some of the I Create staff are graduates of Israeli training programs.
In an heartwarming gesture, Netanyahu concluded his speech by saying, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Israel.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Israel. Thank you, Prime Minister Modi. Thank you all.
The center is aiming to create a large pool quality entrepreneurs, besides encouraging entrepreneurship as a career option. The two prime ministers also visited an exhibition at the venue and interacted with innovators and entrepreneurs. They also awarded 6 category winners of the India-Israel Innovation Challenge 2017. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
On to some other news. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj asserted on Wednesday that terrorism is indisputably the mother of all disruptions. Sushma Swaraj's message was for those who pursue terrorism as an instrument of convenience. Meanwhile, Army Chief General Bipin Rawat also underscored the need to identify nations sponsoring terrorism. Both the External Affairs Minister and the Army Chief were speaking at the multilateral geopolitical conference Rajya Dialogue in the national capital.
There is no denying that in response to a combination of
sponsors of terrorism were the target of the External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's plenary speech at the 3-day Rajya Dialogue 2018 on Wednesday. Corresponding with the theme, Managing Disruptive Transitions, Swaraj stressed that terrorism is unarguably the mother of all disruptions, adding that terrorism will not spare its originators and practitioners.
Our attitude towards terrorism has evolved in the last few decades. There was a time when it was seen as others' problem or a law and order situation. Not just that, it was also actively utilized as an instrument of statecraft. That time has gone long by.
Swaraj also said the challenge of terrorism has become even more serious in the digital age that had a greater propensity to radicalization.
We are all now very clear that terrorism anywhere can threaten societies everywhere. The challenge is even more serious in a digital age,
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat voiced concern over the possibility of nuclear and chemical weapons falling into the hands of terrorists, underlining the need to identify nations that have a state-sponsored policy of supporting terrorism. The Army Chief called for curbs on internet and social media to counter terrorism.
But then I think we have to take a call on whether we want a safe and secure environment or we are willing to accept some kind of curbs, at least temporarily, so that the menace of terrorism can be dealt with in a holistic manner.
On Tuesday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu inaugurated the Raisina Dialogue 2018 in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The conference will further explore the shifting dynamics within the global order, where old relationships need new directions and emerging partnerships face unprecedented constraints.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj talked tough on terrorism and exhorted the global community to enhance cooperation to combat the scourge of terrorism, while strongly reiterating that India condemns terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. Reporting from Delhi, with camera person Saroj, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Let's get you all the updates on market, and benchmark Sensex scored over 310 points on Wednesday to close above the 35,000 mark for the first time ever, while the broader Nifty also ended at a fresh lifetime high on unabated buying by participants. Now, the 30-share Sensex jumped 310.77 points to end at a new peak of 35,081.82, while the broader Nifty surged 88.1 points to close at a new peak of 10,788.55. Now, analysts said that the strong gains in banking, IT, FMCG and capital goods stocks helped the index top new milestone.
A lot of domestic money come towards Indian markets via the mutual fund route, via SIP route into the markets. That's keeping the markets very buoyant. On the international front, you have the Dow Jones doing very well. That is adding to a lot of liquidity. In fact, just a couple of days back, you had Dow Jones cross 26,000, which it did in a record 14 days. So, and last but not the least, you have government policies which are in the right direction as far as corporate India is concerned.
And clad in an olive green pilot's G-suit, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman took to the skies in a Sukhoi 30 MKI on Wednesday, the first Indian woman Defence Minister to go on a sortie on the Indian Air Force's frontline combat jet. Sitharaman sat in the rear seat in the Sukhoi's cockpit, calling her experience as memorable. Looking calm, Sitharaman waved from inside the cockpit and also could be seen showing a thumbs-up sign as the aircraft moved for takeoff. Before the sortie, Sitharaman met Indian Air Force personnel at the Air Force station and reviewed the operational and combat preparedness of the force.
He crossed 1 Mach, also crossed 8,000 meters. So in a way, higher than Mount Everest, and crossed the speed of sound. So it just shows what excellence our fighter pilots have had in their training. It was a great experience. It was an eye-opener in terms of the preparation and also to see what level of alertness will have to be exhibited by our pilots. I'm indeed very proud.
And stating that India cannot tolerate high levels of illiteracy, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Wednesday said that a new India cannot be built on a weak foundation. Addressing the Think Edu conclave in Chennai, Vice President said that the humanistic, inclusive, harmonious vision given to us by ancestors must be integrated into our education system. He said a resurgent India has to be built on excellence and equity in education. And President Ramnath Kovind conferred the Sangeet Natak Akademi Fellowships and Awards for 2016 on Wednesday. Now, the fellowships and awards were given to an eminent group of musicians, dancers and theatre artists at a glittering ceremony at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. This year, 4 eminent artists and scholars in the performing arts have been conferred fellowships of the Academy, and 43 artists have received the Academy's awards. The 4 fellowships or Akademi Ratna this year were conferred on Arvind Parekh, R. Vadavali, Ram Gopal Bajaj and Sunil Kothari. And for more national news, here is Nationwide. The Kanpur police arrested 16 people, including a prominent builder, in connection with the seizure of over 96 crore rupees in demonetized currency notes from the builder's ancestral house in Swaroopnagar. According to the police, 95 crore rupees belonged to Anand Khatri, the builder, and over a dozen others owners owned the remaining amount. This is the biggest seizure since old currency notes of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes were banned in the month of November 2016. Voting for the Madhya Pradesh Municipal Council and Madhya Pradesh Panchayati elections 2018 took place today. Voting started at 7 in the morning and continued till 5 in the evening. The 3-day Delhi Assembly's winter session ended today. BJP members demanded a discussion over the alleged deaths of homeless people in the national capital, a charge rejected by the Housing Board that manages night shelters. The Aam Aadmi Party responded with charges against the BJP legislators over the atrocities against Dalits. Earlier, Karawal Nagar MLA Kapil Mishra, who was removed as a minister last year, was marshalled out for the 2nd day in a row. And in News at 6, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with international and sports news. Stay tuned.
The prolific British poet and story writer Joseph Rudyard Kipling, one of the first masters of short stories in English. In 1894 appeared his Jungle Book, which became a children's classic all over the world. Kim, the story of Kimball O'Hara and his adventures in the Himalayas, is perhaps his most felicitous work published. Set in and conceived in India, he had come to know and love so well. In 1907, Kipling became the first English language writer to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature.
That clock ticked through the night. So much happened as you slept. So much you missed.
Wake up to a complete roundup of news from India and abroad. Politics, strategy, business, sports. Keen analysis to kickstart your day. Watch Breakfast News weekdays at 8 a.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. Now, Pakistan Prime Minister Shahid Khaqan Abbasi has said that no action can be taken against terrorist Hafiz Saeed as there is no case against him. Now, referring to Hafiz Saeed as a Sahib or Sir, Abbasi in an interview to a Pakistani channel said that there is no case against Hafiz Saeed Sahab in Pakistan. If there were a case, action would have been taken. Action is taken when there is a case registered against someone, unquote. Now, earlier this month, Pakistan blacklisted Hafiz Saeed's terror organization, Jamaat-ud-Dawa, and several others after the United States suspended security aid to that country. Hafiz Saeed, who was under house arrest in Pakistan, was released in November last year after 10 months, and India has repeatedly asked Pakistan to take action against Hafiz Saeed, who is the mastermind of the 2008 Mumbai terror attack in which 166 people were killed. In 2012, US had announced a bounty of $10 million for Hafiz Saeed's role in terror activities.
पाकिस्तान क्या कहता है, क्या बोलता है, उस पर हम देश की रणनीति तय नहीं करेंगे। सुरक्षा के दृष्टि से जो हमें लगता है वही देश में बात कही जाती है, देश के बात बाहर कही जाती है। हाफिज सईद एक आतंकी सरगना है, आतंकों को भड़काता है। भारत देश में, हमारे देश में वो आतंक मचाने की पूरी कोशिश करता है, इतना ही हम जानते हैं। पाकिस्तान सरकार कार्रवाई करे तो ठीक है, ना करे तो हम तो कार्रवाई करने वाले हैं।
On to sports now, when India lost the second test against South Africa by 135 runs at Super Sport Park in Centurion. Now resuming at the overnight score of 35-3, India lost Cheteshwar Pujara, Parthiv Patel and Hardik Pandya in the very first hour of the day. Rohit Sharma was the top scorer for Indians, making 47 runs before Rabada got rid of him. Mohammad Shami scored 28. South African bowlers were right on top from the start. Debutant Lungi Nagidi was the pick of the bowlers as he took 6 wickets in a 13-over spell. Chasing 287 runs to win, India were bundled out for just 151 runs. And let's get to some more sporting action in Sports Beat. Indian men's hockey team defeated Japan 6-0 in the opening match of the double-leg Four Nations Invitational Tournament in New Zealand. Rupinder Pal Singh, Vivek, Dilpreet Singh and Harmanpreet Singh were among the goal scorers from the Indian side. India will next face Belgium in the second match. New Zealand's fast bowler Trent Boult has been rested for the 13-man ODI squad for the fifth and the final match against Pakistan, while Seth Rance has been selected for the final ODI against Pakistan in place of Boult. Left-arm pacer Ben Wheeler was recalled to the New Zealand squad for the 3-match T20 series against Pakistan, which begins on 22nd of January in Wellington. Seth Rance was also selected for the final ODI against Pakistan in place of Boult. Brazilian football legend Ronaldinho has retired from the world of football. Ronaldo was part of the triumphant Brazil 2002 World Cup squad. He won the Champions League in 2006 with Barcelona and the Ballon d'Or award in 2005. His brother and agent Roberto Assis confirmed the retirement. Ronaldinho started his career with the Grêmio in Brazil before moving to Paris Saint-Germain in 2001. And that's all in this edition of News at 6. Thanks so much for watching.